Previously on Law and Order. Hello, my name is Rick, and this is the Dwarf Fortress of Swampcavern. And today we're going on a level-by-level tour. So here we have a hallway that goes to the top level of our other new tavern. And now, here's part 2 of Swampcavern, level by level. This tavern is called the Friendly Mushroom for some reason. This tavern's name is Swampcavern, the Arena of Dancing. No one is dancing at the moment. The next layer down is a little bit more storage, our graves and tombs, including the pet cemetery, and this sort of shows how the waterfall works. The mushrooms are actually one level below the tavern to keep them from stomping on them too much, and the water falls down through this area here. These statues here are actually standing on freestanding carved rock pillars several stories tall. Here's the bottom of the waterfall where it flows off the edge of the map, and it's not particularly interesting, but I just like the way Armok Vision makes it look. That is perfect. This doesn't look like much, but this is the firing range where our crossbow teams have done many a live fire training exercise where we unleash a bunch of cave monsters or goblins and let the crossbow guys use them for practice. Here's the siege entrance to Cave Layer 1, including an upper layer where my crossbow teams have run in and killed a forgotten beast or two. On the floor below that you have the bridge that can be opened and closed to block it off, a giant cave spider chained up like a guard dog, and this was the trap that the giant fire-breathing raccoon lived in for many a year. Skipping way ahead, here are the magma forges and smelters. So much of the wealth of this fortress was created at this spot. We have individual stockpiles for steel, iron, coal, marble, gold, adamantine. Going up a level or two, we have some more of the stockpiles that feed it, including a place to put lead bars. This is the strand extracting workshop area. I was taking apart some of the workshops to try to get these quires out of them. When you bind the multiple sheets together, you make a quire, and then they sit around on the floor everywhere because they refuse to go anywhere. One level up from that is some more marble and metal bars stockpiles. And going down from the Magma Forge area is the hallways that feed it. I've been playing Dwarf Fortress for a little more than 2 years, and I have never seen so much shiny blue rock in a fort as there was in this one. I mean, just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer on 2 different spires. There's another third spire, but it's close set into the magma, and we won't be getting much out of that one. This is the resolution I normally play the game at, so this is kind of what the fort looks like properly to me. This is an enormous wildlife trap. The whole idea is wildlife often appears over here somewhere and goes south, or it often appears over here somewhere and heads directly towards the fort. And given that, I thought best place to build a trap between those two places. So all these bridges are linked to a single lever that can throw them shut and turn them into walls. And we've got lots of cage traps to intercept whatever wildlife, hopefully before it fights with the giant cave spider. The giant cave spider appears to be unhappy about something. What makes giant cave spiders happy or unhappy, I wonder. Some parts of the fort are just easier to see in Dwarf Fortress mode. Like, here's the connection from the river to the waterfall. It sort of goes backwards through this diagonal connection and then down into the system from here. Here's the new real main entrance. 2 ballistas ready to fire. Yes, they fire through more than one fortification just fine. I tested it. Here we have a giant cave spider waiting in the trap, just waiting to spray webs onto these cage traps. So if ever a dragon or something really cool does come to the fort, we're going to close all the other entrances, make it come through here, and try to catch it. Carpenter's shop with a healthy wood supply. Farms that we've mostly shut down except for pigtail production. An over-the-top rotting corpse and refuse pile thanks to endless goblin invasions. My last fort, I was having a problem with making clothes and everyone in the fort rushing to get clothes at the same time. And the little bottlenecks it was creating was hurting the FPS. So this time I made sure to include double doors around the leather and clothes workshops so that people could get in and out fast. But I discovered if your whole fort doesn't badly need clothes, that's not such a problem. You got a bunch of human and dwarf children in here for some reason. We never went that nuts with the nobles' rooms in Swampcavern because we never needed to. They're happy. All our nobles are merchants who are unable to contact this fort. We have a king, apparently, but we've lost all contact with our other parts of our civilization. So we haven't seen a diplomat in years, and we can never get the king or the queen to move to us because of that. Here's one of my favorite statues from the Hall of Violence. The artwork relates to a scuffle between a saltwater crocodile woman and an elf, in which the former emerged victorious. Here's a statue of a dragon killing an elf. In most of my forts, if we make a statue or an engraving of a hydra or a dragon, it's going to show up sooner or later. The temple to no particular deity is completely engraved on the floor and the walls. The upper floor is mostly a constructed wall, so I didn't bother engraving any of that since it wouldn't match. Unfortunately, most of the engravings aren't all that interesting. Yeah, remember that time a goblin got killed by a jaguar? That was great. My guys really like that particular story. They make statues about it, they engrave it. I don't know, I guess I kind of like it too. This is actually like the dwarves only club. It's a meeting area just for dwarves. I wanted them to have some place to get away from the elves and the goblins and the humans. Here's the library again. This time you can actually see the crystal glass bookcases. This is a small touch, but I really like it. This is a story told in 3 statues. This is a gold statue of Aslot. The item is a well-designed image of Aslot, Rathtix the Goblin in gold. Aslot is laboring. The artwork relates to the hunting of great beasts of the goblin Aslot in the Mire of Obscurity in 97. Next statue. The item is an exceptionally designed image of Utez the Goblin and Lathi the Gnarled Season, the Swamp Titan in gold. Utez is cringing. The Titan is striking a menacing pose. The artwork relates to the smashing of the goblin Utez Bad Sculpt's left hand by the Swamp Titan. And here the Swamp Titan is slaying the goblin. And that tells us there is a Swamp Titan around, and we'll probably see that guy sooner or later too. Along with the Craft Dwarf's workshop and the Mason's shop, we have the Mechanics workshop over here, as well as a couple of jewelry workshops. Well, looks like once again my videos are going way too long, so I'm going to break it into parts here. If you enjoyed this Dwarf Fortress content, please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks for watching.